Well, hello there. Today is Wednesday, July the 15th, and it's my pleasure to bring the most recent update for the city of Belleville as we deal with the COVID-19 situation here. And it's been an exciting week with changes and the announcement that our region is going into stage 3 starting at midnight this Friday, or 12:01 Friday morning. Today, we're doing today's video from Glanmore House, which is our National Historic Site owned and operated by the city of Belleville. And we are in what they call Jessie Patterson's bedroom. So when she first moved into this house back in 1896, this would have been her bedroom, and this is where she would be. And Glanmore National Historic Site is really about dedicating to preserve the architecture and for people to understand what a house like this would be like. And I'll speak a little bit more about that later on in some of our historic roots. But this is where I am today, in case you're wondering. Our region continues to perform very, very well when it comes to the COVID-19 virus outbreak. We still have only 43 cases. There have been no new cases. In fact, we haven't had a case in our region since May the 18th. And to this date, we've had over 14,000 tests that have been done at the assessment center, at the health unit, as well as by the paramedics that are going with the mobile testing sites. And that's an excellent number, and we continue to have testing. So as I've encouraged people in the past, if you do want to have testing, the number right here on the screen is where you can call. You don't need to be referred, but we like you to have an appointment so that you're not overwhelming them all at once. But we encourage people, for whatever reason, if they need to for work, if they need to go and visit someone, if they need to just to make themselves feel better, please go and do that. Since last week, face coverings have been required in our region. Those were the instructions from the Medical Officer of Health for all commercial establishments. I want to thank everybody who's been cooperating, and especially those who have not taken it out on the staff that are working in these places. It was not their decision. Dr. Cattery came to Belleville City Council earlier this week and made a presentation that you can also watch on the city's Facebook page to understand what her reasoning was and what the process is going to be. And if people have objections to it, she is the person that should be directed to, not employees in commercial settings. As I mentioned, we are moving into stage 3. We are one of the regions in Ontario moving to stage 3, and that will happen on Friday. And that is fantastic news because almost all businesses and services will be able to reopen. Of course, restaurants, we've been taking advantage of the patio dining for the last number of weeks, but on Friday, restaurants can reopen. You will need a face covering to enter the restaurant and to go to your table. But once you sit down at your table, you can take your face covering off to be able to enjoy your meal with your party. If you have to get up to go to the washroom, you have to put a face mask back on. And of course, you have to have a face mask as you get up and leave. I know a lot of restaurants will continue to have patios, so you can still be outside. You don't need a face mask if you're outdoors, but it is a requirement indoors. And again, I thank everybody for their cooperation and their assistance. One of the other things that is very exciting about this week's move into stage 3 is that the limits on gatherings that currently are at 10 have increased to 50 indoors and 100 outdoors. So if there is an event where everybody is going for the same thing, so this doesn't apply to things like restaurants where you're going with your group of 4 or group of 6 people, but if you're going to an event, for example, a wedding, then indoors the limit is 50, outdoors the limit is 100. So that opens up a whole new range of things that we can do in our community and how we can enjoy it. It will allow, for example, athletics, so sports teams can actually play each other rather than just practice as they're required now. But we are currently reviewing all of our policies on activities and our facilities to make sure that we can open safely the correct ones. What I can tell you right now is that the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center, we still need further clarification on how we can open and operate that facility. That's a multi-use facility, and it has different criteria, but we're looking for further clarification, and we'll let you know. The other thing is our ball diamonds. I know a lot of people are looking forward to getting back and playing slow pitch or baseball or fastball. And right now we're not able to open up those facilities yet, and it's a bit questionable. There's a number of reasons. Some of it has got to do with maintenance and has got to do with the decisions that City Council made when it comes to our budget and the fact that how many staff that we've hired as we make those adjustments, but we will update you as best we can. And again, I appreciate everyone's cooperation. But the very good news, the exciting news that we have is, of course, the 2 fields at Marianne Sills Park. So in addition to the track, we also have 2 fields at Marianne Sills Park that are already open. All 3 municipal splash pads have been open, and they are in operation from 11 until 7. And again, if you're going to be using those, especially with your young kids, please be mindful about social distancing. But this Friday morning, we'll also have some excellent news. And I know that parents have been talking about playgrounds and what we're going to do. Well, on Friday morning, we're going to open not 1, not 2, not 3, but actually 4 of our playgrounds. Staff are working really hard right now to get them prepared, so they're ready to go. But Zwick's West Park, where we have all the playgrounds there by the pop-ups, that will be open. Riverside Park, the pirate ship park that everyone calls, will be open. The Kinsman Park on Dundas Street, where by the Kinsman Pool, will be open. And then the Thurlow Park, just off Harmony Road, by the Jerry Masterson Center and the fire station that I did a video for earlier this spring, that will be open as well. And those facilities are to be used at your own risk, meaning that the medical officer of health is directing us that parents should make sure their kids have sanitizer and washing their hands. But the use of those playgrounds and the surfaces should be at your own use. And quite frankly, it should be like that all year round. You know, any surfaces that your children are playing with, you should be aware of, and you should be making sure that it's sanitary and they're practicing good hygiene. We're also going to have to socially distance this time. So if everyone can cooperate, we're going to be excited about dealing with that. The remainder of the parks that we have and the playgrounds we have in the city of Belleville, we will be opening them as we can get in there, do the maintenance that has happened from the last 4 months they've been closed, making sure that they're safe and ready to go, and then we'll be opening them as they come along. But again, our staff have been amazing. I was hoping that we might be able to open 1 park on Friday. The fact that we're opening 4 is really a credit to them and the work they're doing. Couple things I just want to talk about. Just I always talk about a good news story, and I think one of the good news stories as well is that Glanmore National Historic Site is open. It's been open now for the 2nd day, and you can go to their website at glanmore.ca. And they have an amazing new website, which has got lots of information, but also has an ability for you to book appointments to come here and to look at this facility. So they have time slots you can fill out. You can also pay for your tickets to come in here, and then if you can't, they can process you here at the door. But I encourage you to go and take a look at the website and come here. There have been some changes at Glanmore. We've tried to make this more accessible, particularly when it comes to social distancing. So in this bedroom here, the 2nd bedroom, before we could only look at it from outside the door. We've actually opened it up so you can come in to provide more space. But in addition to that, you'll be able to get a closer look. It actually feels like you're much more inside of it, and it's great work that the staff here at Glanmore are doing. Also, the Canada at Play display, or the exhibit that we've had here, that was supposed to only be here until March, continues to be here. So I encourage you to come out and take a look at it. And one of the nice things about Glanmore was that this was one of the original homes that really they were able to have recreation. You'll see there's a billiards table in here, there is an organ in here, there's lots of things to do, lots of games from that time, and I encourage you to come. Another piece of good news is that earlier this morning, Councillor Thompson and I were at Avondale Road, where we started the $4 million restoration project of that road. It's a full reconstruction. We're going to do not just the road and the sanitary and the stormwater to get rid of the ditches there. There'll be sidewalks, there'll be active transportation, and there'll be new street lights, and that's a full project. Started this morning. I know there'll be some disruption to residents, but this was one of the roads that was at one point the 4th worst road in Ontario, considered by the Canadian Automotive Association. And so the fact that we were able to do this is great work. We were able to get some federal gas tax money to go ahead this year. That is exciting, and we're hoping that we will get to at least Aldersgate Road this year, from Dundas to Aldersgate, and then the rest of the project will be completed in 2021. But certainly within a year, we expect this whole project, and I know that's welcome news for the residents of that growing part of the city that have been putting a lot of pressure. I always joke about the fact that it's like driving on the moon with all the potholes and everything else. And if you're from my era where you have fillings in your teeth, you had to check them after driving that road to make sure you still had them. So we're all looking forward to that being done, and it's finished. The last thing I just want to talk about, and I've been speaking about how proud I am of the Belleville Downtown Improvement Association and the work they're doing for the alfresco of downtown Belleville. We have gotten expanded patios and we've done all kinds of things to help businesses there. Starting tomorrow night at 8 p.m., there'll be the new Prismatica exhibit, which is a sound and a light presentation that you can come down and take a look at. It's interactive, so bring your hand sanitizer in case you do want to touch something, but you don't have to touch anything to see it as well. It's a perfect evening or afternoon activity where you can come out, be socially distanced, but still enjoy all of the activities of downtown Belleville. I encourage you to go there. I encourage you to go and patronize all the businesses that are finally able to open or open more of their facilities starting on Friday as we go to stage 3. It's been a long 4 months for all of us, and it's going to be great to take advantage of those services. But we also want to give those businesses our support because we want them to be able to stay here and maintain it. And as we get more information regarding stage 3, I'll be back with another video. But in the meantime, come and enjoy us here at Glanmore. Go downtown, patronize all those businesses, check out the pop-up shops, and parents and guardians, enjoy getting your kids back into playgrounds starting on Friday.